After finishing turn 4, Sly will jump down in front of the police station. From here, we'll need to go to the job trigger on this roof. If you're doing any percent, run straight ahead, as there will always be a flashlight guard here, so you could potentially get a loot. If the guard has a loot, do the sprint distract and pick his pockets, then give him a smack to prevent him from getting in the way when bouncing to the job trigger. If the guard doesn't have a loot, run past him, taking a slightly indirect route to delay alerting him. In either case, scuff boost onto the bounce pad, double jump to the job trigger and do a mid-air cane swing to skip the Badokicom animation. If you're doing an episode run, the potential loot isn't needed, so you can take a more direct route. Jump onto this awning, jump onto the roof with the clock, and double jump circle boost onto the rope and land right next to the job trigger. After the cutscene that follows, you'll be given the Venice disguise. Immediately open the gadget grid and equip it. If you don't have smoke bomb, your cursor will be over the disguise already. If you're playing on PlayStation 3, the game will lag for about half a second before the assigned button will show up. Once equipped, close the menu and equip the disguise. When equipping the disguise, Sly will do a tiny jump. Use this jump to get off the roof and land in front of the first guard. Here we come to the first instance of the password minigame. You'll be shown a combination of 4 face buttons you need to repeat back to the guard. You can start inputting your response the frame after they disappear from the field below, meaning if you're optimal, you can have the whole response typed in before Sly's thought bubble pops up. If you mess up and get spotted, wait until you're no longer detected to try again. Luckily for you, the cafe guards drop detection very easily. After getting into the cafe as Bentley, jump onto the middle table and bomb boost towards the painting by jumping and pressing triangle on the same frame. The passwords you need from the hidden safes are always the same, so no need to search for them. Simply mash circle to immediately go to the code entry screen and enter the code 479. Turn the dial up for numbers 1 through 4 and down for numbers 6 through 9. Nice. Your choice for 5. After getting the blueprint, immediately turn the camera and Bentley to the left and leave how you entered, with a jump and a bomb boost. Press circle to leave when you are as close to the doorknob as you can get to shorten the exit animation. After a brief cutscene, you'll be back to playing as Sly in the disguise. Let's briefly go over some info about playing as Sly in disguise. Sly's movement speed while disguised is indeed quite slow, as you can't sprint in this state. You're also limited to a fairly low single jump, and any attacks or thief moves are out of the question. While disguised, Sly's airborne speed is 4% faster than his grounded speed, so in scenarios where we're gonna be in the disguise for an extended period of time, we opt to jump instead of walking as much as we can. As previously mentioned, the animation for equipping the disguise makes Sly do a tiny jump. This jump has some interesting properties which we can exploit in a number of ways, which you'll see throughout the series. With this in mind, we'll obviously want to spend as little time disguised as possible. As soon as the cutscene ends, mash your disguise button to get out of it. You're intended to follow Bentley up this left path to get to the next cafe. However, a stationary guard has been put on this route. If you're doing an episode run and have smoke bomb, use it to get past the guard without getting spotted. If you're alerted at all, the guard in front of the next cafe will not want to talk to you. If you're doing any percent and thus don't have smoke bomb, take the path on the right. Smash this flower bed to potentially grab a coin or 2. Double jump onto the handrail and follow the road to the next guard. Equip the disguise so you land within the guard's flashlight range. As Bentley, run towards the cafe's counter and bomb boost over it and start entering the code as before. This time around, the code is 968. After getting the blueprint, jump over the counter and use adrenaline bursts to get to the door if you have it. Make sure that when the adrenaline burst ends, you are at the left of the door to get the shortest exit animation possible. After the cutscene that follows, we regain control of Sly again. As previously, we want to unequip the disguise and run towards the next cafe. If we follow the road to the left, there will be a guard in our way. We can either dodge by jumping over his vision range to get a potential loot, or jump over the handrail on the right. However, if you play with the game set to Dutch, aka the optimal language, this guard simply will not be there and you can just run across the bridge. Here there'll be another guard who you can either try to loot in any percent or smoke bomb past in episode runs. Guarding the last cafe, we have the one and only, who will not let you in until you can tell him his nickname. To get his nickname, we'll need to ask 2 guards. Without any strategies, fighting these guards can take quite a while. Luckily, we have setups to abuse guard spawn manipulation to greatly increase the consistency. After the cutscene ends, immediately point the camera upwards to this dome roof. This will always spawn a cat guard. Get out of the disguise when you're out of Tony's vision. Jump to the awning and bounce to the nearby roof. Run off the ledge and do a single mid-air jump to cross the gap. Do a scuff boost onto the dome and run for a bit to get the cat's attention. When it does the sound and animation to say it's been alerted. Equip the disguise to get ready when it turns around. Here we want to be very deliberate with the angle we talk to the cat from. We want to ensure that the camera is pointing towards the town square we were just at. Aim to have the police HQ as close to the middle of the screen as you can. This will ensure that the square is as populated as possible. If done well, there should be a guard looking in your direction when you jump down again. If you get guards but they're all looking away, you can get out of the disguise and run towards them to make them turn around. Should you mess up the camera angle and get no guards in the square, run around with the camera pointed forwards, turning as many corners as possible to try and spawn guards wherever you can. After speaking to the second guard, return to Tony and talk to him one last time. When inside a Bentley, we need to dodge both lasers and lights. Use single jumps, bomb boosts and tables to make your way towards the last painting and enter the code 113. Use similar movement to leave the cafe and reunite with Sly outside. For the last part of the job, we need to head back to the safe house while being chased by guards. Use adrenaline bursts to get back quickly. You can either go straight back, heading right around this building and across the bridge. Or you can head to the left and go around the same building from the left. These routes break even in terms of speed, though the left side has more obstacles to dodge. When your last adrenaline burst is running out, do a bomb boost to land by the safe house door and enter to finish the job. If you don't have adrenaline burst yet, simply run to the rightmost path, hitting any guards and obstacles in your way. Pay special attention to this pigeon, as it easily can hit you with a flamethrower attack. When you get to the bridge, do this little corner cut with a double jump and run over the handrail near the safe house to reduce airtime and enter the safe house.
Before wrapping up this job, let's go over a cutscene script that's rarely used due to its inconsistency. After hitting the job trigger, the Frizz flashlight card will spawn in front of the cafe door. If the flare attack from a cat card is on the guard as he spawns, the guard will get burned, and so he will die, meaning the job will fail and the cutscene will be skipped. To do this, alert a cat card. These 2 spawns will work fine. Keep in mind there's RNG, and instead a pigeon could spawn. That explained, stand right here with Slidefoot lined up with the door frame, and when the cat is in the middle of the trapdoor and reaches into his pocket for a flare, quickly jump to the cutscene trigger to hopefully skip the cutscene. The path the flare gets thrown in is somewhat random, so you can never guarantee it's going to hit the guard as you need it to. This CSS is known as one of the most inconsistent CSS in the game. Only recommended for episode runs, as it may come in handy, but for full game you will need consistency. and the risk-reward makes it simply not worth it. As a side note, if for some reason you are in a scenario which has one cut on this roof and you are down here, do a scav boost and after pressing square, press smoke bomb right after. So you can lure the cat to you and save a few seconds that are always good. If done right, this castle skip will save about 15 to 20 seconds.
That's the end of guard duty. See you next time when we get into some cool movement tech and cutscene skips in Run and Bomb.